Hello there everybody, Sam Strange here, welcome back to the Railway and welcome to another model railway news video. So I wanted to start this one by just saying a massive thank you to everybody who watched the video I did on this last month. It got way more views than I expected it to, and so because it did so well I'm going to keep doing this every month as I said I was going to. So with that, let's get started then. Here we go with March. March already, can't believe it by the way. There aren't an awful lot of things to cover in this video. There isn't an awful lot of news, major news that's happened this month or since the last video. However, there have been a few product updates, for example, and there have also been a few product releases as well, which I think are definitely worth talking about. So come with me, let's knuckle down and get through some of these. So we're going to start by talking about Hornby because I think that is where the most breaking news can be found. So amazingly, the highly anticipated Hornby Terrier has finally been released. Now, it's not as exciting as you might think because it's only one version that has been released, and that is the BR Black version, and if you're interested, it's R3768. So yeah, it's probably one of the perhaps the least interesting liveries, but either way it still looks absolutely beautiful, and I do have one of those on order, so as soon as that arrives with me I will be doing a review. So yeah, they're $89.99 at Hornby, and if you want to get it a little cheaper, the retailers are selling them for a little bit less, £81. So that can't be bad, can it, for a brand new tooled model. So very interesting is that, and it just shows what a fast turnaround that was. So these were only announced about 2 months ago in January, and if you consider that the journey from China, for example, can take up to a month or sometimes more, that just shows you how far along they were with that project before they even announced it. So it was absolutely crazy. Perhaps then that is going to start a bit of a new trend where manufacturers wait until right at the last minute before they announce their products. Because as you might know, this year there has been quite a bit of competition between different manufacturers to get to the market first with certain models, and we have seen several occasions in the not too distant past where one manufacturer has announced a model and another manufacturer has announced the same, class, the same model or whatnot, and it's been a little bit of a race to the finish. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. I reckon we're going to see manufacturers waiting a little bit later just to protect their models, and so that they know that the competition isn't going to be jumping down their throats. And so yeah, I think that's quite good, because a lot of the time certain manufacturers do announce things and then it can be months, years, or sometimes 2 or 3 years, before we actually get the products delivered. So yeah, I mean, that's good for the manufacturers. That stops, well, it'll stop a little bit of that competition. It should stop a little bit of the treading on toes, and I suppose it's quite good for us as well because we don't have to wait all that long. But on the flip side, I guess it gives us a little less time to make a decision and save up for these things, of course, and I suppose it does force the more indecisive among us to make a faster decision. But yeah, that's my prediction anyway. I reckon we're going to see a lot faster turnarounds, which really just means the announcements are going to be later on. I'm thinking about it, maybe that's what Bachmann were doing back in January. If you remember, there were no 00 locomotives announced in January from Bachmann, so maybe that is because they really did have nothing to announce, but just maybe that is because they have stuff in the pipeline but it's not quite ready yet, so they're waiting to announce it. Who knows? But yeah, that's very exciting. The Terriers are now ready, or at least the first ones are, and I think the rest are to follow. And here's an interesting photo that I found on the Hornby Engine Shed blog. This is a picture of all of the, well, I don't know if it's all of them, but I think it is, most, let's say, of the Terrier parts, and you can just see how many parts there are, and this is only a tiny model. So yeah, I found that very interesting. I thought you might as well. Also on Hornby, they've had a major TV appearance recently. I don't know if you saw this, but on BBC4, a programme called James May's Big Trouble in Model Britain was on, and it was a good insight really into behind the scenes at Hornby, some of the problems they face, and a little bit about them really over this past year or so. Now, only one of 2 episodes has aired so far, and if this video goes out on Wednesday, then the second episode will be shown later tonight. It was very interesting, so if you're interested in behind the scenes at Hornby, that might be one to check out, and I think this second episode is going to be even more interesting still. Okay, so finally with Hornby, there have been a few more products just brought back, which are now in stock, so I thought I would mention those. So you've got the Hornby Class 31 BR Green, that's now in stock. The West Country Class Bideford is now in stock. Now I think these are existing models, they're not new toolings or anything like that, but they have just been brought back into stock. And finally the Black 5 has returned to stock as well. I think it's those 3 that are of note, but of course if you you want to find out what else has returned to the range, then check out Hornby's website and take a look for yourself. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Oxford Rail. Now, since the J27 was announced, they've gone a little bit quiet. We've not heard much more from them, but that makes sense because they don't produce, you know, tens of models every year. However, their brand new railgun has now been released, and check out the S&DJR channel, by the way, S&DJR 7F88 channel, I should say, because he's got videos, Callum, I should say, has got videos on that already, so check that out. Those are available very, very inexpensively, in fact, for only 50 quid if you go to the retailers, so that seems very inexpensive to me. However, I've not actually handled one in the flesh yet. I'm waiting for the Bosch Buster version, which is a train pack with the Bosch Buster railgun in, I think it's like a camouflage livery or something like that, and it comes packaged with a Dean Goods locomotive in the khaki, I think it is, yeah. So I'm waiting for that. But either way, I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on one of the Oxford railguns because I've heard great things about them. And finally, with Oxford Rail, we have seen the first few CAD images revealed for their J27, which is an LNER 060 tender engine. It's impossible really to tell what the model's going to be like from just those images because obviously there's no paint applied to those, and that is really just the bare bones. However, it does give you a bit of an idea of the construction and you know, of the general looks of the thing beyond just the photos of the J27s in real life. So I think that's whetting our appetites a little bit, and it's going to be great to see those when they finally get out. Let's hope they're as good as the N7 was. Okay, so a little bit about Hattons then. Now, some of the Hattons Originals rolling stock is about to come into stock, in fact this month, not too long at all. So we've got the FEA wagons, there they are now. I'll try and find a picture of those for you. Those are now due to be released on the 14th of March. I believe they have set off from China a little while ago now, so they shouldn't be too long at all. And similarly, the RHTT sets are due to be released the following Thursday, which is the 21st of March, so quite a big month for Hattons and their rolling stock, and I know a lot of people have been eagerly anticipating those, so it's going to be great to see those finally coming into stock. Okay, a little bit about Dapol. There's been a couple of announcements made by Dapol, only minor ones, but I think they're worth mentioning anyway. So if you remember, I did a review of the B4. I'll put a clip of it up now. It wasn't an amazing model, I don't think, and if you want to know why I thought that, do check out the review. However, they have announced a whole new load of liveries for these. There's quite a lot, so I won't go through them all, but ones of note are the lined green. I think it was a Southampton docked lined green, which looks really, really lovely, quite similar to Southern green, just by looking at it. You've got the Southern Railway lined black, which I do quite like, especially if it's going to be green lining. That's going to be gorgeous. There's quite a fetching yellow livery as well, which I think is Stewart's and Lloyd's Limited. I think that's the company name for that one. That one looks pretty cool. So yeah, some new liveries for the B4. It certainly wasn't a bad model. It wasn't amazing either, but it certainly wasn't bad, so it will be nice to see a few different iterations of that. And also with Dapol, they have released some information on the engineering samples of their Class 21/29 diesel locomotives, which are due this year, so it shouldn't be too long for those. I have an old Hornby one of those, and even those models are pretty good, and I do really like them. They're very unusual looking. They look a little bit like baby warships almost, and obviously the warships are very popular as well. So I've been really tempted to maybe try one of those. I've heard great things about the Dapol diesels, and so maybe I will try some of those out. And apparently the next step for those, for the Class 21/29, is going to be the decorated samples, so that's when we'll get to see them all painted up, and I suppose that won't be too long now if they're going to be released this year. So yes, I'm quite interested in that actually, so let me know down below in the comments, should I pick one up? I'm thinking I might do. So really the other major thing that has happened over the past month is Model Rail Scotland. Now sadly I wasn't able to go there, it's a little bit too far away from me, and it was also my birthday that weekend as well, so I didn't get a chance to go down. But from people that did go there, I've heard that it was a really, really good show, and of course much of what I've talked about already today, among other things, was displayed there. So if you saw any of these models and samples and things, do let me know what they were like, and do let me know if there was anything else that excited you there. But yeah, if you were at Model Rail Scotland, do let me know what that was like. But for the time being, I think that is the bulk of all I wanted to mention today. Of course, I can't cover everything in these videos because they would just get a bit long and boring. However, if I missed anything that you thought was worth a mention, or if I missed anything that you think was you know, pretty major that I shouldn't have done, do let me know down in the comments, and I will consider giving those a mention next month. But for the time being, that's all I've got to say. Lots of exciting updates, lots of new models on the way out, and I can't wait to see what happens over the next month. Alright folks, well thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you all pretty soon. Alright, cheers folks. Okay, now I'm gonna go and listen to some music. Haha.